Good morning. Welcome to you. Welcome to Sacred Dive. I'm Evangeline. Today I brought a friend. This is my new little buddy. His name's Rufus. How's it going, little buddy? Oh, I think he's a little shy to be on video. Is it okay to stay here right now? Okay, you can just stay here and I'll hold you, okay? Okay. Rufus came to me a couple days ago and he told me his name was Rufus. So in the last video, I talked about the question, who feels this? And how that question can sort of illuminate or pull into focus the part of us that's really believing in holding that energy. Just that is a useful practice, to be able to pause and say, like, who feels this? And usually, like I said, like with that pause and that question, the part of you that's frozen and in time and holding that belief will begin to show itself to you. And that's a very precious thing, that just with a simple question and a little pause, a sincere pause, that very frightened, hidden part of us will begin to show itself. Just that is amazingly vulnerable. My cat likes these discussions, so she's joining us right now. Her name's Izzy. I'm not really sure how these guys get along yet, but we'll see. Izzy, you can come up and sit with me. Come on. Come on. Yeah, come here. Come here. Here you go. She likes to sit on my lap while I record. So today, I'd like to talk about, once these parts of us that we've found are frightened or scared, usually younger parts of us, once they've shown themselves to us, what can we do? Let's ask Rufus. I think he might know. Rufus, do you mind if I ask you a question? Okay. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I'm going to listen, okay? Okay. So, when you're feeling scared, and say your mom starts to see you or someone starts to see you, what do you most want? What do you want from that person? You can take your time, and I'll just listen, okay? I want them to just accept me how I am. I want them to just be with me without trying to change me. I want to feel like I don't have to hide or make up stuff. Thank you, Rufus. So yeah, that's really what our little children inside of us want when they show up, even if they're angry and hateful towards us, which sometimes happens, often happens. What they deeply want is our presence, like our adult, calm, listening presence. And so when one of these little ones starts to show up and show themselves, a question that is good to ask is, do you mind if I sit here with you for a while? And then this is really inquiry, and then there's a listening, So you can ask if it's in your mind. You can just hold the picture of that little one. In this case, I've got Rufus here. So you just hold the picture of that little one in your mind, and you can ask, is it okay if I come closer? because we never want to push these little ones. Sometimes they've gone through a lot, and we really just want to listen to what they are ready for. And I've found that we can completely trust them to set the speed and the speed with which we interact with them. And any kind of pushing, if they show up and we're pushing in any way, they'll notice that, right? I'll ask Rufus about that. So, little buddy, yeah? If you felt like I was trying to get you to be big or know more than you did, how would you feel? I would just want to go away. I wouldn't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to have to be big if I'm not big yet, because I'm just not. Yeah. You can just be right here and be with me and be little. Okay. And these little ones, they're just an amazing barometer. They can sense, and in that way they're really useful for us. They can sense when we're being inauthentic with them or when we're trying to get them to do something. And basically they'll shut down. So it's amazing feedback for your own self to see how, what's the energy I'm bringing to myself? What am I bringing to my own healing? They'll just show you. So then after you've asked that question, this question of, do you mind if I just be with you for a little bit? Let's ask Rufus. Rufus, do you mind if I come and just sit with you? Do you mind being on this video with me? Do you mind being here with me? I love being here with you. Okay. So with that answer from Rufus, I felt like this quiet, almost childlike state open in me where you just feel good. You just feel good and peaceful sitting next to an adult you really trust. And that's really what he wants to do, is just sit here with me. So then the next question, well, first, it's always nice to just sit there in that, with a presence of just being with that little one. You can watch them. They might start playing and doing something else. And you learn a lot just by watching what they do. So then when it feels right to you, you can ask the little one, sweetheart, is there anything you need from me? You can ask that little one, sweetheart, what's it like to live in your world? And then again, you just listen. That's the inquiry question. And then you just hold that little one in your mind. And maybe by this point you have your hand on their shoulder, or they're curled up in your lap. And you just listen. Tell me, I want to know. I'm listening. I want to know, what's it like for you in your world? And those little ones hold that belief that's popping up into your everyday adult life and really usually wreaking havoc, actually. And so if we just listen to them, they will begin to tell us. And they have so much more information than our brains have about how that belief is affecting us. And for all of you Byron Katie people out there, this is related to question 3 of the work, right? So question 3 of the work is, how do you react? What happens when you believe a thought? Now, I feel like that question is extremely effective and sometimes dry, and it really sometimes it speaks mostly to this mind, this brain. And so then the brain's like, well, how do I react? What happens when I believe I'm not good enough? That's the way my brain sounds like today. But if we've already made contact with this little one who like holds the belief I'm not good enough, or I'm not supposed to be here, or I have to prove myself, if we've already made contact with them, then we can just ask them. And it's so much simpler to just ask them and really listen. Like, what's it like to live in your world, sweetheart? And, you know, it can be this amazing, like, opening and divulging of so much that they live in. All right, all. I think that we've covered a lot of work today. I think little Rufus and I will maybe go have some lunch, although I'm not quite sure what hedgehogs eat. Oh, he says lollipops. Sometimes he speaks to my mind. It's convenient. So have a wonderful day. There'll be several more videos coming over the next couple weeks with me and our little buddy Rufus. So until then, adieu and namaste.